Hello, this is going to be about the time that we received a tour of Fiesta Americana Condesa Cancun, which is an all-inclusive family-friendly resort located in the Cancun hotel zone in Mexico. We basically walked up to the front entrance of Fiesta Americana Condesa Cancun, up to the security gate, and we asked if we could go to the front desk to the lobby if someone would be able to give us a tour. We did not have an appointment. We weren't paying customers, so certainly they didn't have to let us in. But after waiting for 5 to 10 minutes, they eventually let us past the security gate. And this gentleman right here, he was generous enough and kind enough to give us a great tour of this all-inclusive, big, family-friendly property. So he was very enthusiastic, very proud of this property, and understandably so. It looks like a great property. We had never been here before. We have still never stayed here before, but maybe we will. Maybe we will one day in the future, because even though it was cloudy and drizzling on this particular day, being given this free tour on such short notice, very generous. Again, we did not have an appointment. It was clear why this is a popular property in Cancun. Even though I'm not a big fan of the beach in front of the Cancun hotel zone, I think it's a little bit turbulent. I think it has waves. The resort itself looks very large, and it has a couple of what are, in my opinion, really fantastic pools. I don't know if they're heated, but they just look like large pools, and that I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of a large territory we can walk around, and this certainly does not seem like a small territory. I think they have around 500 rooms, so definitely a good-sized property for walking around. It does not feel like a small space where you just can't, where there's no room. So this gentleman talked about the resort, and I don't really remember much of what was said on this particular day towards the end of 2017. But I did remember that this short tour that we got did make me very interested in the hotel, and I think that even though I've never been here, and I'm not going to talk about the quality of the resort since I've never been here, and even if I had been here, I can't really talk about the quality since things have changed over the last year or so. I am interested in staying here personally. If you are interested, please do your research. Don't go by what I'm saying when I say, oh, I think it looks like a nice place. I think I would be interested in staying here because I like large pools. I like family resorts because they typically have a dinner buffet. And I know that maybe sounds insignificant, but I prefer a dinner buffet as opposed to having to go to a restaurant, because I just like to be in the buffet and then out of the buffet in 30 minutes or less, so that I can enjoy more of the resort experience without sitting down at a restaurant and waiting for food. That's just my personal preference. I do like the dinner buffet because you have more options and you can just quickly get whatever you want to eat and leave. And so if I'm only staying here for a week, I want to be able to enjoy every minute walking around the resort, doing something besides just sitting at a restaurant. That's just my personal opinion. So this man was very nice, and he let us look at the pools. He talked about maybe some recent renovations they did prior to 2017. And this all made me very interested in the resort. Again, this is located in the Cancun hotel zone, where, in my opinion, when I stayed here a few times, most recently in 2019 in the Cancun hotel zone, I'm not a big fan of the beach. I know that seems kind of weird. Well, why would I go to Cancun if I don't like the beach? Well, I didn't really know that, and I do like the resorts. That's why I went here. But it was just kind of interesting to see that every time I went here from 2017 to 2019, I don't know if things have changed, I never really saw the beach being very calm. Now, if you go to the top of the Cancun hotel zone, like if you're looking at Google Earth or Google Maps and you look up and you just scroll up, you might see some resorts that have a calmer beach, which is definitely the case, like Hyatt Ziva Cancun, Hotel Rio Palace Las Americas, Dream Sands Cancun, Fiesta Americana Villas, maybe Hotel Rio Cancun. A few resorts there, the upper section, which have fewer waves in the ocean in front of those resorts. But the majority of the resorts on the Cancun hotel zone, I can say that I never really had a great time swimming. Granted, the water was a little bit cold sometimes when we went there, but even so, there seemed to be always an orange flag or a yellow flag or a red flag indicating that the ocean was a little bit turbulent. And I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't go. I'm not trying to deter you from going. I'm just saying that even though the Cancun hotel zone is very well known, I don't think the beach is the best that I have seen personally. It is possible to swim there if it is a little bit warmer. The water is a little bit warmer, but you just have to watch yourself because there can be waves. Anyways, back to the property itself, Fiesta Americana Condesa Cancun. This all made me very interested in staying here because I do like large pools, especially if I'm not going to be swimming in the ocean, and I do like the family aspect of it because, again, they might have more food options like a dinner buffet in addition to restaurants, which I like, and maybe also some other food stations where you can get snacks during the day. And one thing I like about this resort is this is also subjective, but I use Travelocity when I'm looking at prices, and every single time that I've checked this resort, I've always found this, considering the rating on TripAdvisor and Travelocity, also subjective, the overall ratings, I've always found this resort to be priced pretty well in terms of when I'm thinking of value for money. Sometimes I've seen it for less than $1,000 per person if you're talking about flying from New York to Cancun, 7 nights, flights included, flight and hotel included, less than $1,000 per person for 7 nights for flying from New York to Cancun, that's just my kind of benchmark for, oh, that seems like a good budget. So budget-friendly resort. So if you're thinking of a family resort without spending too much money, again, that's also subjective, in the Cancun hotel zone, it might not be a bad idea to do research about this particular resort, Fiesta Americana Condesa Cancun, just because I've just always seen it priced pretty well, and that almost made me suspicious. Like, is there something wrong? Why is it priced so well? But maybe that's because since there are a lot of rooms, and if they have a lot of guests, and if they're relatively popular, they're able to offer a more affordable price because they have a lot of, they have a lot of guests, and they don't need to price it as if it's a smaller resort. So that's pretty cool. Sorry for the clouds here. So again, we basically just walked to the front entrance of this resort. Not having an appointment, not being paying customers, and said, hey, can we just go to the front desk? Can someone give us a tour? And that's just something I wanted to note. If you're ever thinking about going to a resort and you might be staying near that resort, it might not be a bad idea to just go to the front gate. They might not let you in, but just to say, can we speak to the front desk? Can we speak to the front desk? Can we speak to the front desk? That's it. We have a question. Can someone just show us around? We're thinking of staying here. The part about we're thinking of staying here is better said to the people in the resort, because the people at the front security gate, they're only going to let people in who have an appointment, who are authorized to be there. So it's best to just let them know we'd like to speak to the front desk. That's all. Explain to them that we're interested in staying there. It's not, that's more of a conversation for the people in the lobby. So what will happen is the people at the security gate, understandably, they're not going to just want to let anyone walk in. So they're going to call the lobby desk, and they're just going to say, there's people here, or there's a person here who'd like to speak to you. And maybe if they ask you for a reason, just say, thinking about staying here, can someone show us around for 10 minutes? And the people at the security gate can convey that to the people in the lobby. So anyways, that's not a bad idea, because if someone does give you a free tour for a few minutes, not that much time, and it ends up resulting in you becoming a paying customer in the future at that resort, that's a good investment on both sides. You got to have some fun looking at the resort for free. They just spent a few minutes of their time, and as a result, you might be encouraged to stay there in the future if you like what you're seeing at the tour. And we certainly did like what we saw here. Even though it was cloudy, this did look like a well-maintained, clean property. So that's just a note. If you are interested in staying somewhere, maybe the Cancun hotel zone, anywhere in maybe Akumal or Puerto Morelos, Playa del Carmen, and you just happen to be near one of those resorts that you're interested in, might not be a bad idea to just go to the front gate and just try your luck and see if they're willing to let you into the resort to go talk to the lobby. And then you can just ask, hey, we're thinking about staying here, can someone just show us around? 10 minutes, that's all. Talk about the resort, and you know what, sometimes it'll work. Sometimes you might get that tour, and we've gotten a tour on 4 separate occasions in 4 different resorts. Unfortunately, not in Hard Rock Hotel Cancun. They were unable to on both times when we tried. But it's cool because there's nothing wrong with asking. There really isn't. And when we asked, I was a little bit shy, of course, but then I realized it's 10 minutes is not a lot of time if there is an employee available to show you. And on this particular occasion, this employee was extremely helpful, extremely generous in talking about the resort and why he believes that it's a great property. And I believe him. So maybe one day we'll end up staying here. But again, what kind of deters me from staying at this part of the Cancun hotel zone is just the beach. And there's some other videos on my channel where I kind of talk about, or I show videos of the beach. And I don't know if it's changed since 2019, but it was just never really very calm. I kind of got used to seeing the yellow flag out there. But anyways, all this is subjective. I'm not saying you have to stay at this hotel. I'm not saying that you're not going to like the beach. I'm just talking about my own personal experience, how you can sometimes maybe request a short tour of a resort if you just show up at the front gate and just ask politely to speak to the front desk, and that's it. So there will be another video about Sandos Cancun, which is another resort, family-friendly resort, I believe, in the Cancun hotel zone, a smaller property. But back to the subject of this video, Fiesta, Americana, Condesa, Cancun. Even after walking around for around 14 minutes, and we didn't even really see everything, it did seem like there was a lot to see here at this property, and we really enjoyed the experience of receiving. We really did enjoy this experience overall, and it did seem like there was a lot to see here. So that really concludes the video here. We're talking about a resort that has around 500 rooms and is family friendly, and as consistently, in my opinion, had a decent price. But of course, it's difficult for me to comment on value for money when I've never stayed here. So one thing to note is that large pools, probably a decent amount of food options, hopefully a dinner buffet. Again, when I was talking about dinner buffet, I was talking about in general. I assume that all family resorts have a dinner buffet, even during these times, but I'm not going to just guarantee that for this resort. Thank you for watching this video about this short tour of Fiesta, Americana, Condesa, Cancun, and have a nice day.